Hey, how's it going? It's Keith Townsend. You know what? 2019 was a pretty interesting year for me. It was the year that I pivoted from being that young guy that achieved a lot in his career to being, kind of just that guy who achieved a lot in his career. And you look at the resume, you're like, yeah, that's about right. You're on the other side of your early 40s, and you should have done a bit. You've been in IT for 20 years, so you should have done a lot in enterprise IT. So you know what? What does that have to do with the whole data center and the innovation that we're trying to do in enterprise IT content and content marketing? A couple of things. One, I'm realizing that there are some ideas and concepts that I've learned over the past 20 years that I just have to let go of. My good friend, we got into a conversation about the need for some of us elder statespeople in the industry, and I don't know if I call myself elder, but I am older, to allow for new voices and new thoughts and ideas. If we draw the parallel to enterprise IT, that's obviously, I think I'm provocative in saying that I'm going to build a data center. Who builds a data center in these days other than service providers, etc.? Pretty good question, pretty fair question. And we're looking at the embracing of new technologies like Kubernetes and AWS and new ways of operating things. Why do the data center? And Keith, if you're actually embracing this whole accept new ideas, again, same question. Why embrace building the data center? It's because the reality is we have, I think, 5 generations of the workforce and from boomers all the way to, is the youngest generation Z or Y, that youngest generation, are all working together to achieve business needs. We're going to need boomers in the workforce for a few more years because we just don't have enough of everybody else to replace them. Same thing for enterprise IT. We're going to need data centers for quite a long time. I'm doing a year back look at enterprise IT, and 2019 is the year of hybridity. It's the year that we've accepted from service provider to cloud provider to manufacturer, that we've accepted that hybrid nature of IT will continue. So I'm going to build a representative environment to represent what the real world is like. Part of the title was this, that I shared to you guys some numbers. What does that mean, Keith, to build a data center, a pseudo lab? So, you know what? You could do this with a simple budget. I could probably justify buying a iMac for about $7,000 or $8,000, loaded with a bunch of memory, and basically having a VMware vSphere lab that you connect to the internet, AWS, and you kind of have this virtual representation of what enterprise IT data center looks like. That's not interesting, tell you the truth. I don't need to announce that. That's not something that should be worth me or your time to be invested in. There's plenty of good people already in the industry sharing those types of stories, doing those things in their VMware vSphere lab. What I'm talking about is on the scale of the multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars. And that's, even as I'm saying it, as a person who only has 2 full-time employees working for their company, that's kind of a big number. I'm looking to rent space in preferably Silicon Valley, or maybe I'll do a colo. Haven't really decided 100% one way or the other, but having a full rack of gear, not necessarily sponsored by the vendor that I'm going to test their equipment in. This is about migrating from an existing environment into a hybrid environment. So what I'll probably end up doing is buying some used equipment, deploying VMware vSphere, deploying a storage area network, or starting out with HCI and taking the story from there. That's not a small investment. So when people said, oh, you're building a lab, I want to make sure that, I kind of right size expectations. This isn't a $5, $10, $15,000 investment. This is a multi-$100,000 investment. Where will the money come from? I don't have a few $100,000 just sitting around waiting to be risked upon enterprise IT data center. If I had that, I wouldn't need to do this project. So where is the money coming from? To be continued. Talk to me tomorrow. Join us tomorrow when I do my daily vlog post on the happenings of Keith Townsend and the CTO advisor. Talk to you next vlog.